Alright, so what we're going to do is download the beat we just made. So mine, I titled it This I Swear Beat. So I'm just going to click on it. And then you can see the little download button underneath current version. Then it says December 31st down below that. The little download arrow with the line under it. So just go ahead and download it. And then some options will pop up. So yeah, click audio. And then, yep, so you have all these options. And sometimes you can click Bandlab and it'll just take you right into Bandlab. But the tempo and the time signature doesn't always save. So we can go ahead and click Bandlab just so it opens a new file. So in this case, yep, it didn't keep it at 101. So I'm just gonna delete that and go ahead and set the tempo to 101, time signature set it to 3/4. So don't worry about project key. We're gonna click the plus button, import file, click audio, and click the first one. Should have been the first one. And there we go, we got our beat in here. So now we can start making the music. Every file that you make, you're going to want to do this similar process. So I like to do the beat in one file, the bass line in one file, the piano in one file, just so you can keep layering and do as many as possible. It's a good practice. I mean, if you're just trying to make like a really simple thing, then you can do them all in one. But if you're trying to layer up, then I would recommend doing separate files. Alright, so now we're just going to kind of do a brief overview of how I make the bass line. So I'm just going to remove this one because I already have some chords. So we're going to unmute our bass line here. So when you're making a bass line, you really got to listen if you're trying to go for accuracy. So like I explained before, 1 on the very top right there, 2, 3 is every time a chord changes. So our first chord is F, so we're going to put F in the bass. See, at the very beginning we have an F. Our second chord is an A minor, so we're going to put an A at the 2. Number 3, we have a B flat or G minor. All the same thing, just depends on what you want. Like I could put it as a G. See, it still is fine. I guess I just put it at B flat for whatever reason. I guess yeah, that's just the feel I wanted. Yep, so every note is going to be on one of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's called your root note. So right here, for example, I have a D on the 6. So right here, then I have a D minor chord. So these ones in between, you can see, like I have one right here. It's just a leading tone, basically. It kind of helps draw you to the next note, like that dun dun. So bum bum, dun dun. So yeah, I mean, bass lines are pretty simple. It's just putting the root note. The root note will be, you can identify by these actually. So like F, A minor, B flat, G minor, C. You'll have F, you'll just say like F, A, B flat, C. That will be right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. F, A, B flat, C. Then the next 4. F, D, G, C. F, D, G, C will be on 7. 9 will be F again. So that's a really simple way to lay out your bass line. I'm not going to remake it because I feel like that pretty straightforward. Yep. And yeah, like I said, in between you can add notes to basically lead you to the next one. But yeah, bass lines are pretty simple. Just the root note. Alright, so now I'm going to explain kind of how I made the piano part of the song. So you can see it follows the same rhythm as the beat, but there's one more hit right in between here. I didn't want to overemphasize it with the beat, so I just left that alone. But you can see kind of how it sounds a little bit different. You hear that da 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 da, and the beat itself is just da 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 da. So that's how I made that, and that's how they played the piano in the song, so I wanted to keep it like that. And when I was listening, I didn't really hear another cymbal tab right there. And also I just wanted to keep it a little softer, so didn't want to overemphasize that da 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 da. So yeah, so right here is our first 4 chords of the song. You can see on our Ultimate Guitar tab, we have an F, A minor, B flat, G minor, C in the first, and that's 5 chords. So, and there's 4 here. So like, what am I saying here? So basically the bass line, I also made the bass line in this file, but as the bass line's changing, the chords change as well, technically, if you're into music theory. So I just kept it as F, A minor, G minor, C. If I added more bass lines, then I could, like bass hits or notes, then I could add that B flat, but it doesn't make a difference in the end. So that's the first 4 chords. The next 4 chords, they start singing This I Swear Is True. Got F, D minor, G minor, and then that wacky chord, say C7 flat 9. So, yep, I got those 4 chords. The C7 flat 9 is just it's just a fancy way of saying a minor 4. So the 4 chord of F, sorry, is B flat, or yeah, B flat. So to make that a minor 4 chord, you would just drop the third down 1 note, and that'd give you a B minor, a B flat minor. So yeah, that sounds like this. See, that chord really can draw people in and basically be like the hook of your music. That's why I really like this song. I mean, it sounds really beautiful. So now we got our main chords here. We got our verse beginning. So he's saying, my love for you will last till time itself is through. So you see I repeated it twice because that's what they do here. Those chords, the F, A minor, B flat, then I'm going to say B flat minor instead of C7 flat 9. So F, A minor, B flat, and then B flat minor again. And then it changes to oh my darling, this I swear is true. So that's that first part. And then this is right here. Is where you start saying oh my darling, this I swear is true. And then they go back again and then sing the verse again. So we got verse 2. So we got the F, A minor, B flat, and then C7. I still kept it as a B flat minor because it sounds better. And then there will be no one new. So yeah, you see that repeated, and then here they say oh my darling again. Oh my darling, this I swear is true. So now, and then it starts to change. So now we are at our bridge right here. So I promise you that I will never make you cry. This love will be eternally, cross my heart and hope to die. So, yeah, we got this song going on here. And then, so they start saying cross my heart, and then hope to die. And it's going to go back, and there's going to be another verse right here. So, we're going to, my lips will kiss, I vow, nobody else but you. So that's these 2 things right here. And next, we got another oh my darling, oh my darling. This, I swear, is true. And then here's the outro. It just repeats 4 times. So it's pretty simple when you break it all up like this. You can kind of see each section of the piano chords. So now I'm going to remake it and show you like how I place the notes, how I space everything, how I get this rhythm. So yeah. All right, so now we're going to remake this chord progression. I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. So I used the Studio Grand piano. You can use any. So just go to Virtual Instruments, and then you can scroll down. You can see it right there. If it's not there, you can just scroll on the top. Keyboards. Got all these options. So, yep, I'm just gonna choose that one for now. Yeah, it's muted at the moment. Or these are soloed, so the other ones are muted. So I'm just gonna undo that. And we'll just focus on this. So let's start with the intro. So right here. So this takes some listening. So I listened to the song a couple times, and the song is actually an F sharp major. So I had to go to my piano and just like see what the highest note was, and then from that I can work my way down. So I determined that the highest note that they were playing was F sharp major right there, that note. So because because Ultimate Guitar wants us to make it an F major for some reason, we're going to put an F instead. So that's going to be our top note. And usually 50 songs play the piano really high. So yep, in here, I worked my way down and just made an F major chord with F on top. So F, C, A, and then I put another F on the bottom. So it's just a four note chord. So you can see how that sounds. So if I go in here, so we got an F 6. So if I go into my piano, so once again, I'm going to click on the red piano right there on the left side of the screen, far left. Click on the bottom right, and so we can input the notes. And because, yep, so we want the 6 spaces, remember. So we're going to go all the way up to our F6. We've got a C, and then an A, and then another F. And then you can do the same thing we did with the drums. Just make it so it looks like that. And then you can repeat it. And we're going to only repeat it to the 2, because the 2 is where the next chord is going to start. So now it's going to be a little louder right here, but it's going to be the same. And I'll show you how to fix that little situation there in a second. So now that's doubled up. So we're going to, oh yeah, I'll explain that. So right here, we're going to click on it. In the middle of our menu right there, we have the cut button. I'm going to click cut. I'm going to make another cut right here. And then we can pull this back. Click the undo button. Make it not looping. Click on it again. Loop it. And then there you go. That's a super quick way to just change the rhythm. So now I can turn this one off. Mute it. Click the M. So now we got that same little progression there. So now I'm just going to merge all this just because I feel like it. I like to keep things looking clean. So, yep, now we got our first chord done right there. So now we're going to, you can copy it if you want and then place it right here. And obviously the next chord is not this, it's going to be an A minor. So if we go in here, we can look at what A minor looks like. But so the reason I copy and pasted that is because you see how it shares the C and A. So see how the C and the A just keep going? So only the F drops down one note to an E. So it makes things really easy. If you want to just click on that, and then you can hold and drag, select all those, and then just pull them down with your finger. Do the same thing on the bottom right here. So now you have your F to A minor. So our next chord we're going to make is a G minor. So we got G, B flat. It says A sharp. You can call it B flat or A sharp. Most people just call it B flat. So G, B flat, and D. So we can do kind of the same thing here, but if you notice, the A minor right there and this G minor have the same spacing, like in between here. So 1, 2, 3 right there. And then right here we have 1, 2, 1, 2. And then on the bottom here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we can actually do is click on the A minor right there, open our menu, hit that 2 square button in the menu, the copy, paste it right here again. Click on it again, click on this one now. And we're going to click those 3 lines, and here's our transpose button. So now we can see, if we just focus on our top note, we only need to move down 1, 2 spaces. So if we click transpose, go down -2. So now we have our D, B flat, G, D. So that's a G minor chord right there. So you see that little trick makes things really quick. So then one more time. So this one does not have the same spacing, but once again, we can just copy it. And yeah, this is a C major chord right here. So C, G, E, and then C. So I can, another good thing to do, you see the line in the middle of the screen? Sometimes you can't tell where you are. So use the line in the middle of the screen and line it up right where that chord starts. Then click on it, go into your chord chart, and now you can see basically where it starts because that line is still in the same place. So I'm just gonna do this, pull these to C. I already have one on G, so I'm not gonna change that. I'm just gonna pull this one past it and pull it to E. So boom, we have that on E. I'm gonna select these ones, drag them down to C. Now we got a C major chord. So now we basically remade that. So now you can pretty much do that for this whole, like the whole song. So I'm gonna show you more, but you can follow that same process. All right, so now that I've got these 4 chords laid out, I'm just gonna drag and hold, and then our little menu will pop up. I'm gonna click the 3 dots on the side, click merge, and we're just gonna click our little circular arrow when we click on, so we're gonna click on it again, little menu pops up. I'm gonna use that little circular arrow to repeat it, and you're gonna see that when I go in here, I can't edit this, so we gotta make a little cut. So I'm gonna click on it one more time. In the very middle of our pop-up menu, we have the little 2 like half squares with the 3 dotted lines in the middle. I'm just gonna click that and it cuts it. So now we can change these chords up a little bit, because you see in our ultimate guitar over here, the second part of the intro does not have the same chords as the first part. So we're gonna switch our A minor to a D minor, and then our C to a C7 flat 9. So we're going to go in here. We're going to make this a D minor. So we're going we're going to select these ones, pull it down, make that to D. You have an A right there already, which is one of the chords in a D minor. So we're going to pull these ones past it down to F. And we're going to pull this E down to D. So you see, I'm going to turn the volume down so it's not so loud. And then we got all these chords are still the same now. So now our last one here, you can see I'm lining up the line with the middle with it. This is where it changes. So you can see I have C sharp or D flat on the top and on the bottom. Then I have a G and then a B flat. So that technically creates a C7 flat 9, but it can also just be called B flat minor. So I'm gonna go into here, going to pull this chord down 1, and this one down 1 with those notes, and you can still see the B flat and G right there. They just continue through, so that keeps everything easy. So you got this. So that's the intro. So now we're going to go into the verse. So for the verse, it's pretty similar to the second part of the intro. So I'm just going to copy this one again, or you can just repeat it if you want. But you see how it was already in the repeating state, but it wasn't repeating. So we can just do that, or we can do that. Okay, so cut it, and our main chord progression is F, A minor, B flat, C7 flat 9. So we can just do this since we need an A minor. Cut both right there and right there, delete that, make a cut here. Because remember, our first 4 chords had an A minor right here, so we're just going to steal it. We're going to make 2 cuts right there and then copy this and paste it right in the middle right there. Now it's going to be the same. And actually, it says B flat, but we're using B flat 6. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to scroll all the way down here and show you what a B flat 6 is. So we got the 1, so the 1, 3, 5, and then if we add a G, we get a 6. So that makes it B flat 6, which is also the same as G minor. But it'd be like G minor with an F in it. So there's different ways of saying the same chord. So I'm just going to delete those, and we're just going to leave it like this. And basically what's going to differentiate it from being a B flat or a G minor is the bass note. So if I click up here and we just peek at the bass note, I put a B flat, so that makes it a B flat chord, essentially. So I'm just going to zoom out, select those ones that we just made, merge them, copy it over like that. So now we got our verse right there. So now we got our intro and our first verse. And what we can do, so I already know where all these are because I already pre-made the song. So once you get all the things spaced out, you can just like copy this and then align everything where it needs to go. Sometimes you need to zoom in because it just gets like so draggy. I'm trying to drag it around, but yep, you can put that there. Got another verse over here. So now we got kind of a layout going on here. So the next part is where he starts saying, oh my darling, this I swear is true. So you see where it starts saying like 13, 14, 15, 16. That's where the chord changes each time. Because remember, we set our tempo to 101, 3, 4. So these are our chord changes. You could do a chord change in between if you wanted to make it more interesting, or whatever you choose. Music has numerous ways you can go about it. I just kept it really simple, 4 chords. Very standard way of doing things. So right here, the same chord repeats for 2 bars in the bridge. It's pretty common. So we got an F major here. So if we go back to our ultimate guitar, we got the oh my darling, this I swear is true. So if you look at the line that says till time itself is through, there's an F on the far right side. That F should be right above the oh my darling, because the oh my darling starts on an F chord. And then so he says, oh my darling, oh my darling. And the second oh my darling is where the B flat comes in. Oh my darling. And then the G minor, once again, it's one of those weird things where it should be above the this I swear is true. So this, and then true is where the C starts. So, yep, it's pretty simple. If you know how to keep the rhythm going with your singing, you can figure out the chord changes really quickly. So it helps to kind of listen to the song and figure out, like, just listen to how the chords are changing with each word that they're saying. So, yep, I think you have a good understanding of how I'm laying out the chords, so I'm just gonna speed this one up, and yep. Alright, so that's kind of how we make the bridge. You can see how I did a lot of copy and pasting and stealing. For some reason this chord right here got like messed up somewhere in between, but whatever. I'm just gonna remerge all that. I just stole it from right there. But yeah, that was a C major chord that I stole and wanted to put it right here, because that's at the end of the this I swear is true. They have a C major chord. So this is our bridge right here that we just made. So we got our intro, 2 halves of the intro, we got our verse right there, got our bridge right here, and the verse again, and then we got another bridge right here. I'm gonna copy and paste that bridge in so that you can see this one is a little bit different here. It gets different right here, so I'm gonna make a cut so I know where it changes. So those are all the same right there. We can listen. So yeah, you can see how it sounds different right there. So right here, we have that C chord. So the C chord actually comes more abruptly in this bridge. So you can see even right here where he starts saying, oh my darling, this I swear is true. So he's not holding out that note this time, he just like, it's just going back to the one chord. So it goes 5 to 1. So I'm gonna move that back. It goes back to the one chord, so I'm gonna make a cut here. Paste the one chord. So now now the one chord right here turns into a dominant. So you can see the F7 there. So I'm going to take a look at this. So you can see it brings in the E flat chord right there, or D sharp, same thing. So you can see the C and the A continue all the way through. So I'm just gonna copy and paste this and copy all those, or select all of them, drop that down to D sharp or E flat, and right there. Now we have that dominant. So you can see what I did here. I switched it from D sharp or E flat to F, and back down to E flat. Just makes it a little interesting. So now we are entering the bridge. I'm gonna copy all those, or select them, sorry, merge. There we go. So now in our bridge right here, we're start to get a little interesting with the chords. So we're starting off with a B flat, it goes to B flat minor, and then C7, F, F7. So we could maybe steal one. So let's see, D, B flat, F, D. I believe this one right here. D, B flat, F, D. So we're gonna just steal that right there. See, I make the two cuts, copy it. And that repeats twice, so I'm gonna repeat it right there. Oh yeah, and another thing you can do is if you make two cuts, you can just click undo twice, and whatever you copied is still still saved, so you can just redo that. Oh, and it looks like I accidentally copied it in the wrong place. Yep, so there we go. So now you can see how it drops down like that. So go in and take a look at it. The F and the B flat stay the same, but the D drops to a D flat. So we can just select, maybe drag down. Yep. Okay. Select, drag down. So it's like, I promise you that I will never make you cry. So, and this is an F. It goes back, because you can read in here, I promise you that I will never make you cry. The make is right on the F. So I'm gonna go back here. This was an F, I remember. Copy it, undo it so it doesn't have the cut anymore. Paste it there. Got an F going there. And it repeats quite a few times. And you can see it goes back to that So we're gonna just steal that same thing over here again. And just line it up properly. This right here, we can make a quick cut right there. And yeah, always look at the top of the screen. See 45, 46. That's how you know where you're gonna cut. That's one bar right there. So that's a chord, basically. So boom. So it's a little bit different up here, the way I did it. Still kept it as an F and then dropped it down later. So keep this as an F for now instead of an F dominant. And then we go back to the beginning of it, of the bridge, and it repeats. So copy the beginning of the bridge right there. Oh, I'm sorry, I totally messed that up. Yeah, so see, this is why you gotta stay organized, because I made the cuts right here. So, boom, I'm just gonna select the whole bridge. I'm gonna copy it, paste it right here. So now it sounds right. And then it's not gonna be the same. So I'm gonna cut it right there, because this is where they kind of change it up in their song. So they say, so instead of going to that F, they go to a D minor. So if we look at that, got D, A, F, D. So we still got an A in there and an F. So I'm going to select these ones, pull it down to D, select these ones, pull it down, pull all the way down, because we already have an A and an F. So then just cut all that. So we just have our D right there. And you see it repeats quite like 3 times. So I'm gonna do that. So when I hit the copy over button, you can drag it. So that is where the G minor comes in, and then it goes to a C. So we have quite a few G minors back here. I'm just gonna steal this one, and then see, this one goes to C as well. So I'm just gonna copy that, undo it, so it doesn't look like that anymore. Just go here again. And now we're back at our verse. So we can just make that look nice and neat, copy or select the whole bridge and merge it. We're gonna merge our second part of the verse there. So I'm gonna just copy one of the second parts of the verses, since it's gonna happen again over here. Paste it. So in this one, they do it a little bit longer. So I'm going to get rid of that actually. Repeat this. See how they keep holding on that G minor chord, because they say, "This I swear," and that's all on that G minor chord, so they're holding it out for a while. And then it just goes to C really quickly, and then back to F. So I'm just gonna steal a couple C majors from the very beginning, right there. Or sorry, this one. Yeah, see those last 3 notes right there. And copy it. And yeah, make sure you undo it. Paste. So then we're just gonna finish out here with our sort of ending section. It's really similar to these first 4 chords, so I'm gonna copy those. Got F, but it's actually a D minor, so I'm going to leave the A there, and we're gonna drag this up to D, and you can see the F chord that I made this time is a little bit different. I have C on the top and on the bottom. It's just for a different feel. So I'm gonna edit this one that I just made. I'll just drag this down to C, and now there we go, now it's fixed. And then this one right here, and drag it down to D. We're gonna get rid of that E and put it down on F. So now we just fixed everything. See, that's a little bit different. You can hear the tension. So we got B flat, F, D, B flat. So see, that's different. So this needs to be an F. This needs to be a B flat. And we need to get rid of this and bring it all the way down to D. Because remember, that's how we laid it out in this one. B flat, F, D, B flat. And it looks like I still have something in there. Nope. Nope. Just sounds very grand. Then looks like we're just going to finish off with C. C, G, E, C. Yep, so that's our outro chord progression. We're just going to repeat it 4 times. We're going to just do one little hit on the end here to just end it with an F. And that's basically how I make any chord progression. Yeah, I know it's very quick. Just let me know if you have any questions. Try to simplify it as much as possible. Just like stealing chords you already made makes things really simple. Going in and selecting and dragging them down really helps if you don't want to keep placing every individual note. So yeah, lots of little tricks in here that you can use to make your chord progressions. So right here we got the strings. So normally what I do is just import that piano and the basically the track. I'll put everything in like one file and then basically solo out the instruments that I want to import. And in this case I chose the beat, piano, and drums, or sorry, beat, piano, and bass. So literally all the strings are just following the chords of the song. This looks kind of crazy when you look at it. That's because I like to see how I labeled everything on the side there. If you click those 3 dots on something, you can rename the tabs. I don't know what this is. Modish high, midish high. Okay, but yep, I have the high ones, mid ones, I have a bass going, I have, yeah. So I like to do each one individually so I can adjust the volumes accordingly. So this is kind of what it sounds like. See how some of them carry over? That's really important when you want to create a good flow to a song. So this is literally just following the chords of the song. It's just higher notes, and I'm not going to go too much into this because as long as you understand, it's like F, A minor, G minor, C, you can just play each of those chords or input each of those chords as strings, just like we did for the piano. And you can just make them longer notes like this one, for example. See how I stretched it? It's longer. It's not just like a singular note. So that's just how you make strings. It's pretty simple. And then I did some of this stuff, yep, to make it kind of build back up to the next chord. Here's the solo strings right here. Just kind of like dancing around. But yeah, I mean, just following the chords of the song as they're changing and kind of creating that background.